So it's always very highly requested that I make videos like this. Just a nice little sit down talking about one topic at length. And I feel like, hey, why not do that? You know, because my TikToks are a couple minutes long. And on TikTok, a 2 or 3 minute long video is pretty long for TikTok. But on here, you know, 2 or 3 minutes ain't shit on YouTube. Y'all want long format content. And I think it's time I finally start doing that. So I figured I'd just hit record and just kind of speak on the law of detachment. You know, it's something that every time I post a video, it does well. People want to know more about it. So I said, hey, it's my job to come up on here and give you guys more knowledge on it at length. So this is what I'm doing, man. So where do we start? What is the law of detachment? Because a lot of people say, Jason, the law of detachment contradicts the law of attraction. Like, how do I attract something, but if I'm detaching from it, like, it doesn't make sense? So let me break this down for you guys. I'll kind of intertwine them both. The law of detachment is, simply put, relinquishing your attachment to something in the physical realm. Okay? You're not doing something for an emotional, you don't hold an emotional attachment towards an outcome. And I'll give you a few examples just off the top of my head, just so you guys can kind of, we're on the same page here as I continue moving forward. For example, when I start talking to a girl, we'll use law of detachment on people as well, because you should never expect anything from someone, okay? So if I practice the law of detachment and I start talking to this girl, I'm not in my head expecting or desiring a certain outcome and holding an emotion to that outcome. What do I mean by that? Let's say I start talking to this girl. I'm a type of guy where at my point in my life, I just take it day by day. I do not sit there and say, ooh, wow, this girl makes me feel a certain way. And then I start making a fantasy in my head about a character, essentially, that this girl should play based off of how I see her. I know this girl making me feel like this, this, and this, and I see that she does this, this, and this. Therefore, you're going to make up a fake version of her, and she should be doing these things based off of what you've made from in your head, right? And then if that doesn't happen, if she does not meet these expectations that you have set for her, then you start to resent her. Then you start to think, well, you're not doing what I told you or what I thought that you should be doing. That's why you don't have an emotional attachment to somebody, right? When you start talking to somebody, you have to like them for who they are and what you get to know about them, not based off of a feeling, because then you have an emotional attachment to it. And if that doesn't happen, it crumbles. I'll give you an example if you do something for yourself, okay? The law of detachment, when you set out on a path for yourself. Let's say you start posting on social media and your goal is that you want, 50,000 followers in the next 6 months, and you want to be making this much money and being on podcasts and doing these cool videos, right? That's the goal you set for yourself. So you're doing it and you're grinding and you feel like you're not really getting anywhere, but you're seeing some progress, and it's kind of like it's up and down. And then after that 6-month mark comes, you haven't achieved those goals you set. You said, I want to start doing social media because, and then you name all of these things. And in your head, if you don't get that, you're going to start to think you're not worthy and that you can't do it and it's impossible and you are not capable of doing it. Had you have just said, okay, I want to start posting on social media because I want to get my message across to people. I want to help people. I want to do good in the world. That was the only reason you started posting. By extension of that, not only are you never going to burn out, so what people call it, burning out, because you're not doing it for an outcome. You're not doing it for the followers or the money or the fame. You're not doing it for the likes or anything. You're just doing it because you want to get your message across. That is the law of detachment. You're just doing it to do it. You don't care about the outcome. Hey, I want to get my message across to people. I don't care if it reaches 20 people or if it reaches 200,000 people. I just want to do it to do it. That is precisely what the law of detachment is. Don't let your expectations define who you are, right? I gave you that follower count. You want this many followers, this much money. If that doesn't happen, now you're letting that define who you are. You're saying, I'm not worthy enough to continue posting on social media. Or when it's the person, hey, this person's not worthy enough to be with me because that expectation didn't happen. That outcome did not happen. And you had an emotional attachment to that outcome, okay? What's funny is that often it's your expectations in and of itself that's holding you back. It holds you back from what you really want. You know, Because the trick, guys, is to understand that you should expect nothing. Don't let it hold you back. Don't get up in your head and overthink about what could happen and the expectations. No. Detach from that. When you detach from that, not only does nothing really matter, if nothing happens, hey, okay, I've been posting on social media, I'm not getting followers or views, okay, nothing happens, okay. But when something does happen, now it's a blessing. You look at every small thing that happens as a blessing. You don't look at it from an approach of, I expect this, I deserve this. No, you just do, right? Let me give you an example. Somebody who likes to draw or sing or skateboard, or there's just a hobby that you are good at, maybe for yourself, you can think of one. You're not that good at it. You're not a good singer. You're not a good drawer. You can't skateboard well, but you enjoy doing that. You enjoy the drawing, or you enjoy singing in the shower, wherever, man. You're not going to post that on social media. You're not trying to show off. You're not trying to get views or likes and show people that, you can do this thing. You're just doing it because it makes you feel good and you like it. You're not concerned about an outcome. You're not concerned about how you sound or how good that picture is or can you get a kickflip down. You just like doing the activity. You know what I mean? And by extension of doing that, good things could come from that. But if you start expecting certain things, that's why, again, like I just said, alluded to a couple minutes ago, that's why you don't ever follow through on things, because you'll start to burn out because you have that expectation. Start treating everything you start doing in life, everything, as that hobby that you do. You just do it to do it. You don't do it because, again, you're looking for an expectation or a certain outcome, You're just doing it. Once you start doing that, you start to just kind of like feel more free. You don't start to feel this pressure on you of like, I gotta get it, like, oh my God, there's not this pressure, bro. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like an energy thing. You just don't feel as held down. You feel a lot more free and peaceful. You need to start detaching yourself from the feeling that you think you're gonna get from something, and start doing it for the feeling that you get from doing that thing. Does that make sense? So, for example, I go to the gym still every day. I don't go to the gym anymore because I think I'm going to get a good body from it and my muscles are going to get bigger and I'm going to like the way I feel more. I don't go to the gym for that reason anymore. I used to be in that mindset, but now I just go to the gym because I like the way it makes me feel in the moment. And I like the way it makes me feel right when I'm finished. I like that struggle. I like that pain. I like when my heart's beating and my mouth is dry and my muscles hurt and I'm cramping and I feel like I'm going to pass out. I live for that feeling. I love that feeling. I go to the gym for that feeling. I don't go to the gym anymore in expectation and in hopes of getting bigger biceps or bigger legs or more veins or better muscle quality and striations. I don't do it for that anymore. I just know that as a natural byproduct of showing up to the gym and training hard, that I will end up getting that muscle. I will end up sculpting my body even more and getting stronger and looking better. But just to go, my thought process behind the gym in and of itself is just, I'm going to go because it's hard. And I like the feeling of it being hard in the moment. I'm not concerned about the expectation. My arms might grow. My biceps might start to grow, or maybe I hit a plateau, or maybe I'm just going to the gym and I'm not eating in a calorie surplus. I'm just kind of staying at maintenance and I'm not really getting too much stronger or too much better looking, but I am just a little bit, very slow progress. Okay, that's cool. I don't do it for the expectation anymore. I'm aware of what could happen. I'm aware of it, but I'm not holding an emotional attachment to it. Okay, like for example, I'll stay on track of the gym here for a second. Let's say you don't have a six pack. Let's say you're 20 pounds overweight and your boy or ladies, your girlfriend was also 20 pounds overweight and they start going to the gym and in 3 months they got a six pack. They lost that 20 pounds. They've been staying, dialed in, consistent. You just see them going to the gym and you're like, wait a minute, we looked the same when we both started. And you started going to the gym and now you look like that. I want to start going. So now in your head, automatically, you're going to be thinking, well, we looked the same when we both started out. They got it in 3 months. That means I can get it in 3 months. But maybe you don't have the proper coaching that they did. Maybe you don't have maybe you weren't eating the proper food. Maybe you just see them going to the gym and you just think, all I got to do is go to the gym. So you start going to the gym 1 month in, 2 months in. You're starting to get a little discouraged. 3 months comes around, you don't have that six pack yet. Let's say you only lost 10 pounds in 3 months because you didn't really know what you were doing. And you're starting to compare yourself to your friend because at the beginning, remember, you had an expected outcome. You had an attachment to this outcome. This is what I want to happen. When you say this is what I want to happen, that is your attachment. That is your outcome, okay? That is your desired expected outcome. That's what I mean. So you said, I want to do that. You didn't get it. Well, now you start to think you're unworthy. What did I say at the beginning? If you start out on something and you don't meet that expectation, you'll start to feel unworthy. You'll feel like you can't do it. You'll want to just give up. That self-doubt will kick in. So now, even after 3 months of going to the gym, maybe you're down 10 pounds. There's not that much. Maybe there is a little bit of physical change, but it's not to what you wanted to see. It's not to the extent of what you like. Well, now you're going to start to give up. And this is why we have so many people who give up out of the gym in 2 weeks, in a month, in 2 months, in 3 months. They start going. They don't see results as quickly as they wanted to or as quickly as they thought they would have. They don't get that feeling anymore because they realize it's not true, it's not reality, and they quit and give up. Why would you quit and give up if you've already been going? It's a blueprint. If you continue to go to the gym and you show up 3, 4, 5, 6 days a week and you eat the proper food, well, guess what? It is only a matter of time until you see results, my friend. And this is deeper than the law of attachment for a second. This is more on, for anybody who's listening to this and you are unaware of how to get in the gym or what to do, what to start, just start going. Because it is a blueprint. You will never see somebody, I've never, ever, ever fucking seen anybody who's gone to the gym for months or years consistently and trained hard and didn't bullshit and actually gave it something and they ate the proper food and they just didn't have a good body. I've never fucking seen that, okay? So it is a blueprint. You cannot get discouraged at certain things. Most things I'd even argue in life, if you just continue showing up and doing it, regardless of how you feel while doing it, if you are just aware of the outcomes that can happen and you say, okay, I am very aware that this is a very possible outcome as long as I put in the input. Now, all you're focused on is the input. You're not focused on output. You're not focused on what am I going to gain from this. All you're focused on is input, input, input. What type of input can I put in? Then, if you become truly delusional enough, like your boy, you will start to just fall in love with the input. Even though you're not getting an instant gift, an instant reward. It's delayed gratification. It comes back full circle to everything I talk about, everything that my brand, Real Talk, and just me in general, what I talk about and what I talk about on the podcast that you guys have seen me on. Discipline, integrity, fortifying your mind, being emotionally intelligent and emotionally mature and stoic enough to not just want to act on your emotions. You're doing things regardless of how you feel. Discipline, going to the gym, all these things come full circle. So then you actually start to apply the law of detachment. If you can do it in one thing, it's just like discipline. The law of detachment, guys, just like most other things, comes full circle. If you're disciplined in one area of life, you can become disciplined in all facets of life. If you practice the law of detachment and you detach from desired outcomes, emotional attachment outcomes in one aspect of life, then in every other area of life, you can start practicing this. So if you start practicing the law of detachment with something you're going to start doing, like social media, as I gave as an example earlier, or the gym, and you start practicing it in that and you see it work out, and your brain goes, okay, wait, if we start thinking like this for every other thing, well, now we won't get crushed when it doesn't work out in the timely manner that we wanted it to, or in the exact way that we wanted it to. So then you start applying that to everything, like I said earlier as well. Women, okay? I get a lot of you guys, man. I get so many of you guys talking about you got attached to a girl, or ladies got attached to a dude a month into talking to him, 2 weeks in, 2 months in. Why the fuck are you getting attached to anybody After only knowing their character and their soul and spirit for a month or 2 months or 3 months, what is there to get attached to? Let's think about this for a second. This is a very crucial thing when it comes to the law of detachment. What are you getting attached to when you start talking to somebody for a month or 2 months or 3 or hell, maybe even 6? There's not an objective time frame on here. What are you getting attached to? Because let me tell you this right now. You haven't lived with them, so you haven't seen every single side of them. You don't know everything about them. You have probably not seen all their flaws. Perhaps you're saying, I love you, or maybe not. Maybe it's just a situationship. You've been talking for a couple weeks. Because I've had people say they've been attached to somebody after 2 weeks of talking. You hang out with them, or you see them, or you guys are laughing together, or you go somewhere, and you get this feeling from them. You get this feeling from being with them, talking with them, joking with them, sleeping with them, whatever it is, just being with them. And then you start to fantasize up in your head like life in the future with this person. Imagine the vacations we can go on, and we're going to be like this, we're going to be this power couple and doing this and kids, and you start fantasizing this future, and you start creating this future, which is a false reality. It's not real. It's a fantasy. Fugazi. It's a fucking fake. Fairy dust, bro. So then when that ends up ending, maybe you got too clingy, or the girl was just a goer, or it just didn't work out for whatever reason. Insert any reason it didn't work out. Well, now you're just so crushed because that person that you had an attachment to so quickly in this fake attachment, this false reality, you got so attached. Now you're heartbroken. You're not heartbroken, friend. You just made up this false version of them and this false version of reality where you guys would be together forever and you're married and you're on your honeymoon when you've only known this person for 2 weeks, by the way. Because it feels so good. And then you get heartbroken, and then you start losing your ability to trust, and then you can't detach, and it just downward spirals your life, okay? So how do we get out of that? Let me explain for my relationship people real quick. How do we not fall victim to being attached to somebody when we start talking to them? I'll explain. Let me take a drink of my rain. Sponsor me. I usually do not condone energy drinks, but I'm going to chase it with a water. So, how do we not get attached to people too quickly? You take it day by day. What do I mean day by day? As time progresses when you're with somebody, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, you guys progress. You get more chemistry, okay? You get more chemistry. You hang out more, there's more feelings involved, you have more experiences, you travel more, you just learn more about each other. You see how I'm getting stronger and stronger. This is what this is implying. Okay, you're far away, you're coming together, you're getting closer, okay? Like I said just a second ago, what most people fail to do is realize that. And they think, oh my God, 1 week, we hung out, 2 weeks, we're kissing and we're sleeping with each other and we're going out, and oh my God, this is so great. You're going off of a feeling. Feelings are not fucking real. They're fake in most cases. That's a whole other topic for another video. What you need to realize is, okay, I feel really good with this person. I'm aware of my emotions because I'm emotionally intelligent. I'm aware of how I feel. I'm aware of how this person makes me feel when I'm with them. But this doesn't mean I like them or I love them, okay? I like the feeling I'm getting, but I don't know who they are as a person. So acknowledge that. Yo, I love when I'm with this person. I love laughing with this person. I love the conversation we have. I love being around you, but I can't say I love you, which means I cannot get attached to you, and I can't make this future with you if I don't know if I love you, okay? And as a man, I know it's very hard because we're providers, we're protectors, we want to provide this life for our woman, so we do tend to think in the future, but you have to try to dial it down as much as you can to not get super overwhelmed and attached, okay? So as time goes on and you do start to get to know this girl more, when I mean take it day by day is every day, and I don't mean literally every day meaning figuratively as time goes on, right? Day by day, week by week, month by month, whatever term you want to use here, because you'll start to get to know this person more. You'll start to see more sides of them. You'll start to see the flaws in them, and you can love people with their flaws. Like that's guys, this is the whole thing. You can't be walking around saying you love somebody when you don't fully know somebody. right? How do you get to know somebody? You have to spend a lot of time with them for a long time and just like, let that full side of them come out. You have to really understand who people are before you start saying, excuse me, I love you to somebody. And we put so much emphasis on the word love that once we tell somebody, I love you, now we think of it as so real. And we think of it as even more, we get more emotionally attached to it. Literally, love, emotion, right? Love is an emotion. So when we say I love you, we're putting more of an emotional attachment to the outcome with this person. You guys get what I'm saying? So this is why it's very important to not throw the word love around. If you want to practice the law of detachment, you can't be throwing the word love around to people when you don't fully know them. When you just start taking it as like, I want to get to know more of you. If at any moment this ends, okay. At any moment, you might change your mind and say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. There could be somebody else in your life, or maybe I'm not feeling it. Maybe it comes a point in time where like you show me a side of yourself that isn't necessarily a flaw, but it's a red flag in my case. Like you start being disrespectful or you start doing things that are frowned upon in relationships. Now I might break things off. I can't be super attached to you because now what do we do if we're super attached and we see red flags? We look past them. We look past them. We've all been there. I've been there. We've all been there. Don't lie. Don't lie. We've all been there. When you're talking to somebody and you're really attached, quickly, you love the way they feel. It's like this puppy love, this teenage fever, but they do things that you frown upon. We let it slide, bro. We let it slide because we're too attached. So people come to me and say, Jason, how do you just quit talking to a girl if she's doing these bad things, if she has these red flags? I say, well, my friend, what do you mean? How do I do it? I just know what I want. I don't get attached. And I say, okay, you showed me that side. I cannot let you fool me again. I can't let you lie to me. I'm not going to let you disrespect me. I'm not going to let you cheat on me. I'm not going to let you go out and fucking club with all these dudes and get fucked. No, bro, you're done. People find it so hard to take my advice a lot of times because I don't get attached that quickly. You do. And I'd argue that it's normal. Like the way I do it is normal. It's not normal to tell somebody you love them a month into knowing them, 2 months into knowing them. What I say is not crazy, alien fucking advice. It's pretty normal 30 years ago, 40 years ago, right? Getting to know somebody, understanding who they are. But nowadays we have that all backwards. And it's like, I love the way this person makes me feel. Oh my God, I create a reality with them in my head. I create a future scenario with them in my head. I'm noticing that they have a bunch of red flags and they do things that I normally would say no against. But I'm so deep in love that like, I'll let it slide. That is the thought process behind most people. And that is why most people get heartbroken. I use quotations on that because they're not truly heartbroken. They just say they are. They lose their ability to trust. They don't want to talk to anybody else again. All this bullshit mumbo jumbo because they got too attached too quickly. But if you practice the law of detachment, that will not happen. Why? You're taking it day by day. You're understanding, okay, I can't get attached to you if I don't know who you are, and I don't get to know who you are until very, very, very long into knowing you. So if you tell me, Jason, I was with somebody for 5 years and they cheated on me or they broke my heart or whatever, and I'm just so hurt. Yeah, I get it, bro. You're going to get attached to somebody. You're going to really get to know somebody on a very deep level, in like spiritual level, really, after like a year, 2 years, 3 years plus, right? So yeah, if you've been with somebody for a long time, of course, because maybe you did like their character, maybe you've seen every side of them and this and that, and like you really did love them. And I'm not saying you got attached to them, but you finally were able to like give your emotions to them, which is what saying like love is. Once I tell somebody I love them, that means once something happens to you, I'm gonna be emotional. Like if something happens to if a stranger that I don't know dies, which happens every day, I don't get emotional towards that. I'm like, damn, that's fucked up that this person died, but I don't get emotional. So anybody in my life that I say I love, my boys, my sibling, my parents, my dog, my girl, once I say I love you, it's not necessarily a feeling I get from you. It's a feeling I'm choosing to give you, essentially. I don't have that feeling with people. Only the people I say I love you to is where I get that feeling. So once I tell a girl I love her, right? once something happens to you, whether health issue, you leave me, you pass away, I'm going to be very hurt by it because I chose after a very long time of getting to know you that I love you. Not you make me feel good and I love you. No. I'm choosing to love you. Therefore, I want to do everything for you and I want to make sure you're always happy and doing the right thing and, living a good life. But by extension, if it ever ends or you pass away or you go in the hospital, like I'm going to be very hurt, right? I can compare this to like anything in your life that has a lot that you really like. If that got stripped from you, you'd probably be pretty sad. Anybody who's into cars, right? You're a car guy, car girl. You love your car. Let's say you have a really expensive car. You love it, okay? You really enjoy driving it. You have a lot of positive feelings towards it. That means you have an attachment to it, which means if that car catches on fire or gets totaled, you're going to feel very shitty. Same thing with your house. I love my house, right? Everybody loves their house. It's their space. If something happens to your house, well, now you're fucking devastated. So anything that you have the ability to be attached to and like choose to love and give attachment to, you choose to give attachment to, that can make you feel really positive, and it usually does. But just understanding that it has the ability to make you feel the complete opposite, which is shitty, right? That's why being in love, right? Once you finally, like you're really locked in with a guy or a girl, it feels very good. And you're like, oh my God, I got my person, right? Any of us who've been in a long-term relationship, after you get out of that like honeymoon phase, I don't know, it's a really good feeling. Like the honeymoon phase is cool, but like once you're out of that and you really just like fuck with that person, it's such a good feeling. But you have to understand that it has the ability to end. We don't want to think that because it's our partner, but it has the ability to end. It could end. There's a possibility. And just understanding the outcomes that could happen makes it a little less shitty if that actually happens. And I just use relationships for like a long tangent there. Just to give you guys an example, I know a lot of you guys probably do want to hear that, and you do, this is what you listen to me for, a lot of you guys. But that, again, can be applied to anything in life. You come back to social media. When I post, I'll even give you a personal thing. When I started posting on social media, like 2.5 years ago, the beginning of 2023, I was posting in hopes of like becoming this gym influencer and blowing up and getting everything. That's why I wanted to post. So I started posting my gym videos. I was grinding every day in the gym, recording. That was my life, bro, for so long. And I didn't see that much progress. After like 6, 7, 8, 9 months, bro. Like I was getting maybe 2,000 views was like my highest video with like 100 likes. It was shit, right? When I'm first starting, really, I should have been grateful, but like I wasn't seeing the growth I thought I should have been seeing. Because what did I say earlier? I was going off of how I thought I would be feeling once I get all these views and shit. I wasn't doing it for the feeling I was getting of posting, right? Like now I love enjoying the process of like recording the videos, doing all this thing. I enjoy the process. Back then, I dreaded the process and I just wanted to feel good from the result. I had it completely flipped. So after about 9, 10 months, I started to get discouraged and I kind of quit posting. I just kind of quit. I would just post like once or twice, a week of like random stupid little gym videos. I didn't take it serious. I wasn't trying. I just kind of got burnt out. I got what most people felt. I burnt out. I didn't feel like doing it anymore. Why? Like I just said, I had an emotional attachment. I wanted this to happen, and that is the only reason why I was doing it. I wasn't doing it to show people that it was possible to work out. I was strictly doing it because I wanted views and likes. Fast forward a couple months after that, which would be a year ago from now, so summer of 2024, I started posting again, okay? I had just recently got my heart broken. I had so much knowledge and thoughts up in my head that I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to post on social media. I posted a plethora of different topics. I just posted my thoughts. I wasn't trying to get views. I didn't think people, because for the longest time I thought, why would people listen to me for a minute long or a minute and a half, 2 minutes, 3 minutes? What can I talk about for that long? Number one. And number two, why would people want to listen to me? What am I so unique about that people would want to listen to me for that long? But I just started doing it, bro. I didn't give a fuck. I started posting about how to quit smoking weed, why it's so beneficial, how to get over a heartbreak, everything that you guys know me for. The law of attraction, the law of detachment, this video right here, right? Everything. I just started posting because I wanted to Number one, I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts out there. I just wanted to talk, maybe help other people get through something. And then once I started realizing that, like, oh shit, I can just help people. I can take what I've gone through, my experience, what I do in my life now, the knowledge I've built up and the skills I've acquired over my whole life. I can just help other people. Sweet. I said, fuck that. I wasn't thinking about followers. I didn't know I could get paid from making videos like that. I just said, bro, I'm just posting videos because I enjoy doing it. And I've been posting a video every day for over a year. Like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 videos a day, right? It ranges. But like usually, if you scroll back and look at my page, I have posted every single day on my TikTok account for over a year, at least once or twice a day, all the way up to like 8 or 10 times a day. I never get the feeling of being burnt out. Some days do I have some shit in life that, is happening in my personal life and I don't feel like recording or, I'm just not feeling it? Yeah, of course. I'm human, bro. I'm Jason Rao. I'm coach, but coach always feels emotions as well, right? I'm not just cold to emotions. I just learn how to harness them better. I learn how to prepare for that. Maybe I always have videos in my drafts to where when I really have shit hit the fan and I'm not in the mood to talk with you guys, I just kind of want to like stay silent for a little bit, which is what happens, by the way, when you get truly sad about something. I'll have drafts, right? Or sometimes I just get up and do it because I say, you know what? I know I feel like this today, but I said I wanted to help people. I said I just wanted to change one person's life every day. So if that's what I can do, that's what I'm going to do. It was never about like, man, maybe the views are going low for a little bit, right? Maybe the algorithm's just kind of fucking me up a little bit. It's just straight fucking me. And I'm not getting views. I don't get discouraged and go, it's been 2 weeks and I haven't had a video over 10,000 followers. Although I have 90,000 followers, my videos just aren't hitting the For You page. Like I'm just not doing that good. Like I think I'm going to give up. I don't think like that. A lot of people get burnt out when they don't get views and they don't want to keep posting. I don't do it for the views. I don't do it for the views. I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for the likes. I don't do it for the shares. I don't do it for the followers. I do it because I just want to give my knowledge and my experience out to other people and help other people. Just put it out there. Because a video I posted a year ago, somebody might come across in a year from now and go, whoa, this video changed my fucking life. So it could be an old video that I posted that helps somebody think completely differently for the better, all because I kept posting. And the reason I can continue to keep posting with absolutely no loss of drive or loss of ambition is because I'm not sitting there going, I want followers, I want money, I want this, I want that. That is just a byproduct of me showing up every fucking day, doing what I love to do, which is this. Which is everything I do on here. I enjoy the feeling I get while doing it. Any other feeling I get extra is what? A blessing. Because I'm doing the thing. This is the takeaway. I'm going to end this here. You're doing the thing for the feeling of doing the thing. Anything extra is a bonus, is an amplifier, okay? Do you understand? When I start posting, I do it because I like posting. The followers I get, the money I make, the opportunities I get, that's a blessing. If nothing happens, nothing happens. I'm not expecting anything to happen per se. I'm very aware of what could happen. I understand that I could get a bunch of followers and could get a bunch of money and a bunch of opportunities. I'm aware that could happen. And maybe you would like that to happen more than that not happening. Sure. I get it. You could have a desire to want that to happen, right? Like, yeah, of course I would want that to happen rather than it not. But if it doesn't happen, or if it feels like it's not going to happen in a timely manner, oh well, I don't care. I'm going to keep doing it because I like the feeling I get from posting. I like the feeling I get from drawing or going to the gym or being with that person. I want to continue to get to know you. And if you end up checking the expectation that's in my head, great. If you start talking to a girl and it's going good for a little bit, it's going good, and then it ends, damn. Next girl you talk to, next guy you talk to, it's going good, it stays good. You have kids, you get married, you're 60 years old and you still have your partner. Blessing. We made it, finally. But if it doesn't work out, you don't sit there and bitch and moan and cry about it all the time. You just sit there and learn, okay, well, I'm not attached to an outcome. I have detached. Therefore, I'll be okay. And therefore, I can do it again. No problem. Okay? That is the law of detachment, guys. That is, and let me end it with saying a lot of people do come to me and say, well, Jason, what do I do? Like, I don't know what my desires are. Because you say to still have desires for things, but oftentimes you guys have to find your true desires. For me, I didn't know back when I was starting this stuff, I didn't know before I was even on social media that this would be my desire. This is my main desire, doing what I do on here, helping people, coaching people, changing people's lives, getting people in shape, changing the way people view the world, helping dudes get girls, right? Like helping dudes not be as shy and nervous, just helping, man. That's always made me feel good. And I didn't know that was going to be what I was doing, because as I'm growing up, all of us a lot of desires are put on us from society, your family, school, music you listen to, teachers you have, a bunch of different things, social media in general. So people say, yeah, I want to be rich. I want to have this car. Do you? Or do you just really want that because that's what you see around you? So this is why, again, it comes full circle to being disciplined and doing things on your own and being able to be alone. Because when you're alone, you can really understand what you want. I know what I truly want. I know what type of life I want to build for myself. And I'm going to keep that private to me. And you can keep that private to you. But just know what you want. Know where you want to go. Know what you have to do to get there. And then just start executing on that. Don't let the desires of other people grab you and take you where they want to go, okay? Really think about your desires and realize that a lot of them are not your true desires. They're not what you truly wanted. True desires are when we were children and we sat there as kids saying, I want to be a firefighter, I want to be, the president or whatever, right? We had these crazy dreams and aspirations as kids, and then we grow up into society, and then we start to, get influenced by different people and different things and music and fuck hoes and get money and drive the cars and get on the yacht and private jet. Dude, I'm not saying you guys might not want those things and those might not be your true desires. They might be. But figure out if they really are your true desires and what you want. And you'll find, I'm going to finish it with this, you'll find that it's much easier to do the things once you really find out what it is you want. People ask me, Jason, how do you not get burnt out from the gym? How do you not get burnt out from social media? This is what I want, okay? I like helping people. I have to be in shape myself if I want to be a coach and help people in the fitness and nutrition aspect of things. So I have to continue showing up for myself not only, but then continue showing up for other people and helping them. That's what makes me feel good. That's what I truly want to do. I do that regardless of the outcome, regardless of how much money I get paid every week, regardless of anything. That is what I want to do. Therefore, I do it for the sake of doing it. Therefore, I never give up. I never burn out. I just do it. Now, if it was something that I didn't truly want, like working a job, I would probably get burnt out working the job my whole life. Which is why we have people who work jobs their whole fucking life being depressed, being miserable, because they're doing something that isn't their true desire. Nobody's true desire is showing up at a job for somebody else. It's not your true desire. That's why people find it hard to do. That's why they say find your passion, follow your passion. Okay? When you find your passion, you're doing it because you like to do it. You're just detached. You just like to do it. But the outcomes that can come from that, these could be blessings. That is the law of detachment, okay? Find your true desires. Don't be emotionally attached to a specific outcome. Don't give up your desire. That doesn't mean give up the intention. You still have to work, okay? But don't be so emotionally attached to it. And you'll find that your life is so much more freeing and peaceful, okay? Because peace starts when you quit trying to control everything. And detaching is saying, hey, it's not in my control. I'm just going to do it, okay? This is in God's hand now. This is why the law of detachment, law of the universe, God, believing, right? It all comes full circle. That's for a whole different video, though. But sit there and just understand, okay, I'm going to do it just for the sole sake of doing it.